everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful snowflakes out of wood. These are perfect to have around your home in the winter time, give as a gift, or if you want to make some extra money, they're a great craft to sell. The tools I used for this project were a table saw, miter saw, pin nailer, brad nailer, sander, and a drill. You're also going to need wood glue and possibly hot glue. These are the pieces you're going to need, and I'll include a cut list in the description of this video for your convenience. For the parts that make up each arm of the snowflake, you're going to need 3 boards that measure 12 inches long by 1 1/4 inches wide. I initially started with stock that was 3/4 inches thick, but when I stacked them all together, it was too bulky, so I cut them in half. You'll need a little over 3 feet total to allow for the cuts. I'm a big fan of using stop block, so you'll see that all of the pieces in this build implemented that method. If you'd like to add color to any of the pieces, I'd recommend painting the boards first before making the cuts. It'll make your life so much easier. To make the 12 diamonds that you see at the ends and in the center, you're going to need at least 28 inches of material that is ripped to 1 1/4 inches wide. Now mine is 3/4 inches thick, and I kind of like the chunkiness of that, but you can use any thickness that you want to. The diamonds measure 3.5 inches overall from tip to tip and are cut at a 50-degree angle, and I'm going to show you how I did that along with some tips to make it easier. This process took a couple of tries to get perfect. If you're off by even a little bit, the diamond is completely uneven. Once I got a perfect example, I created a stop block by adding painter's tape to the miter saw and underside of my sample piece, and then I hot glued it into place. Because of the angle, I added a second piece of stock to keep everything from shifting, and I clamped it all down. The last piece you're going to need is to make this little wing portion. They measure 5/8 inches wide. Mine are 3/4 inches thick, and they measure 2 7/8 inches overall from the tip to the tip. You're going to need at least 32 inches of material, as you'll need to cut 12 of them for this build. One thing to note, these are cut at 45 degrees rather than 50 like the diamonds, so don't forget to adjust your saw. I used a stop block with these too. The only word of caution is you will need to flip the pieces over for half of them, and be mindful should you decide to paint these a different color. There will be a right and a left half. Okay, to start off, take a 12-inch piece and find center. I plan on making a lot of these, so I created a jig and attached a washer to keep the hole from getting bigger or shifting. I found it helpful to clamp all 3 pieces together with a jig and a scrap at the very bottom, then drill through all so the centers are uniform and marked. Then attach a diamond at the middle section of every end of the arm. If it makes it easier to gauge, draw a line horizontally to aid in lining up the bottom of the long piece. Next, add a small dab of hot glue to adhere the wings together, then place them on top of the diamond and nail them into place. Repeat this step on each end. If you're going to be creating these to sell, I definitely recommend taking the time to build some type of a jig. I got a little lost in the weeds making mine, but now that it's done, all of the pieces are completely uniform. You can cut something out of cardboard or insulation foam. That works the same way, and this method allows you to assemble your pieces from the back so you don't see the brad or pin nails from the front. To bring everything together, I added wood glue and placed each of the arms on a screw that is a little bit long and protrudes out the front, so I could move them around to find the correct angle, which as it turns out is 30 degrees. Again, I went a little crazy building a jig when really all you have to do is cut pieces at 30 degree slices to help align everything. Then I pin nailed the pieces in place. I'm gonna leave that long screw in there for right now because it's kind of hard when you got the glue and it wants to slip all over the darn place. The last part is securing the 6 remaining diamonds in the center. This is where having at least one 30-degree pie slice comes in handy because you can insert it between each arm and use it as a visual guide. There isn't a lot of material to attach to, so make sure you aren't stingy with the glue. And those are the steps to creating these snowflakes. You can get really customized looks by being creative with the color schemes, or you can leave them natural wood. They look great like that too. So let me know in the comments if you plan to make one of these snowflakes, and if you did, were the tips I mentioned in this video helpful? Also, if you aren't already a subscriber, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and look me up. I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook too. As always, I thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.